It's a beautiful day, sun is shining. Today, guys, I am very nervous because we are going to do a lot of stunts in one take. So I always do my own stunts. First of all, I'm going to try and adjust a new Moretti keg, because the last time I saw you, we were drinking Moretti. Dida Moretti. And of course, it was in the weekend, so we emptied it. Now, never forget to press the orange button, because if you forget that, what kind of drinker are you? You don't even deserve thirst. So, put the keg into the blade. And then the sound. It should do it. I'm going to wet the tube, so a little bit of beer I'm going to let out. And I'm just going to put it aside. It's a little bit of spare. It's all foam. But within a couple of minutes it's all beer, so you really can drink it. It's no problem. And we're going to talk about cans. We're going to talk about bottles, pouring it into a glass, because I know a lot of you have the blade, but sometimes you want a bottle or a can, or what's the difference. So amigos alcohólico, get ready for some information. First of all, beer has three enemies. It is oxygen, time, and light. That is why beer comes in a brown or a green bottle. It really breaks down the UV beams. You know the sunglasses, right? Ray-Ban. Actually, it's Ban Ray. The brown really blocks out the UV. So that is why beer in a brown bottle is really good, protected against the UV. Also, green bottle will protect it. And you know when your beer is in a green or a brown bottle, that the hops has not been modified. So I'm not telling anything about other beers, but brewing to the Reinheitsgebot, from Germany. It's just malted barley, water, hops. No, how you say that? Something you extra put into, whatever. So those beers are brewed normally according to the Reinheitsgebot. Now, why do I love beer in a can? Because everyone that knows a little bit about beer nowadays will say that beer in a can is much better quality-wise than beer in a bottle, because no O2 to it and absolutely no UV. So this one is really dark, and dark is good for beer. That is why when you have an opportunity to choose between a bottle or a beer in a can, you always go for the can, okay? And you guys think, yeah, but I would always go for the can because this is Heineken 00. But just to make a comparison, choose for the can, okay? Then it is about pouring, because people ask me about the pouring. Now, I always drink straight out of the bottle. Why? Basically, this is a perfect pour in the brewery. So they pour beer into this green bottle. They put a lid on it, like protection. And basically, if I open it, I would drink it straight out of the bottle. Only with lager, okay? If you have some sort of specialty beer, you will put it in a bigger glass, because it's just like red wine or so. You want to give it some air. It has to more or less loses odor, etc. But with lager, it's a thirst quencher. You want to drink it straight out of the bottle because it's all about the refreshment and aftertaste. Now, if you open a bottle, you always hear a very reassuring sound. It's called psst. Okay? If you don't hear that, put it aside. But now, a little bit of CO2 actually is here in the neck of the bottle. And if you open it, you hear. Okay, Frank, I always do my own stunts. And now, I don't know if you can see it, but you reduce the pressure. So something's changing here. It becomes minus 35 degrees for like a split second. And slowly you will see some CO2 coming up. And you also will see some foam on top. So if you look at it, CO2 in the drink, foam on top of the drink. Now you can do two things. You can take a glass, make sure it's cold and clean. And now I can pour it in, 45-degree angle, release some CO2. Right? Now let it settle for a second, and then you can drink it. Now it's nice and lively. There's nice head of foam on top. Normally you don't skim it, because I don't know a lot of people in the house that say, hey Frank, use a skimmer, just mess the floor up, because I don't want you to have all those bitters in your mouth. So what happens here is that you release CO2, you add oxygen, and you build foam under air pressure. Now that is why beer from a keg is always fresher than beer from a bottle, because dark beer, no air added to it, so you create foam under higher pressure and you remove the bitters on top. Now, if you do this, you still can drink a nice and fresh beer. If you want to do this in a restaurant, be my guest. But you also understood that there was some air put in, CO2 got out, and you warm it up a little bit. So if I have beer from a bottle, I just drink the carbonated liquid out of the bottle. And at the brewery in Heineken, they know that there is a difference in the amount of CO2 in the bottle and in the keg. Because in the keg it's like 4.5 grams per liter. And with a bottle it's like 5.6 grams per liter. So this one has a little bit more bite to it if you drink it straight out of the bottle than this one. Because they think if you're going to pour it in a glass, you are going to release some CO2. So this one here is a less fresh, less crisp, if you like the CO2 bite, than this one. Again, all those things that I'm explaining, you can just try yourself. You can just, open a bottle or two and just drink it straight out of the bottle and feel what is happening. And also, pour it in a glass and drink it out of the glass, and you will definitely notice a difference. So when I'm over the world, people always say, yeah, the Heineken export is different beer than the Heineken from Holland and the Heineken from, let's say, Egypt or so. Guys, let me tell you one thing. It's all the same liquid, okay? So we have the same blend of malted barley, we have the same blend of hops, we have the same purity of the water. The only thing that's different is treatment. So if I put this in the sun, for instance, and then I chill it back, because of the UV, you have light struck to it. So if you open a bottle, I could smell it from like 2 meters. I can smell immediately if this one has light struck or not. So the treatment of the beer always makes a big difference in the nice and smooth aftertaste of it. So that is why I love the cans. Less chance of messing the product up. But of course, I'm a draft master. What I like and what I love is draft beer. You see, this is the amount of beer that's left over the half of glass of foam. So if I'm thirsty, I can still drink it. I don't need to spoil it, you know, I can drink it. It will do the job. And now I'm going to pour a schooner. Not scooter. No, schooner. It is a slightly bigger glass than the half pint and smaller than the pint. I think it's like, out of my head, 365 milliliters. But again, it is the rinsing, cooling, cleaning. Give it a shower on the inside. Prepare the glass for what's going to happen. The beer is beastly cold. I pour it in. I don't need to let go of foam in the beginning, because even if there's some foam in the line, it's going to be the lightest part, and when I skim, I'm going to remove the lightest part. So whatever comes in here of foam will go to the top, and I will remove it. And now you know what I'm feeling already. I'm preparing myself for this sip. It's almost weekend. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, so my jacket is going to be in the raffle when that happens. And for now, cheers, enjoy the almost weekend, and perhaps I will see you tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. And if you have a topic you want to discuss, feel free to share, amigos alcohólico, because this one is going to find its way in my belly where all the fun is happening. Cheers. Nice. I bet a lot of you were hoping that this was like a really foaming keg, right? No, ain't happening. Cold, rested over 24 hours, not foaming. But if you would have a foaming keg, you know, you have to send it back, because we believe in quality, amigos. Living next door to Alice.